Hey, but the very next day you cast Tainted Indulgence. But the very next day we cast Indulgence. Last Christmas, na 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 na, but the very na 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 na. Canister on time for working European people. I thought working meant the time of the day where you can actually watch Twitch. Was I not right? What? Modern League where? Oh, Modern League here. First as always. Chat, do you think Da Vinci knows he's not first? Or he's just making a chat move and despite knowing that just says that he's first? Or is Da Vinci just unaware of the fact that he's occasionally not first? Oh, Tainted Indulgence in my opening hand. I'll happily cast it on turn 2 and I won't cry if I just miss. A River of Tears. 2 Thoughtseize, okay. I am a believer, only good vibes, yeah. Also, Tainted Indulgence actually lets you play Malakiri Berth, which you couldn't have before because, well, it didn't work well with a white-blue card for 2 mana. Doesn't seem like there is a good reason to grieve. Yeah, I've seen the Urza deck, I haven't commented on it, so you can check what I said. This doesn't seem to be a deck where Prismatic Ending is great. So I'll keep the lands, I think. We have 2 different costs in the graveyard. No, 3. If I get counterspelled, I don't like my position, so I think I'll play Indulgence. I don't know what my opponent exactly is playing, but I assume they play the card Counterspell. It's actually quite likely they would have access to it here. I draw 2 end of turn. Could discard a land though. Skip the ending in case of stuff. Oh, it's an inverter deck. It's not much point given their hand, not much point in grief rebirthing. Will not play the inverter on the next turn. I think we can just hardcast griefers on the next turn. If this had flashback, that would be nice. So, but I would be down a card, so it would be less nice. I think your deck needs a bit more monsters or 7 mana Da Vinci to properly utilize the card Neoform. Although I guess Neoforming Emery into Urza, that's the other idea. So I guess you do have 8 enablers, sort of. They did draw something, seems like. Draw 2. Okay. Inverter, Profane Tutor, Tassa's Oracle. Well, yeah, Companion is kinda bad in general, to be truth to be told. This is actually problematic. Sort of. Think we need to take the inverter. They drew good. They drew well. From here. They can suspend the card. Reanimated from the graveyard, I see. Exactly, yeah. My graveyard got 1, 2, 3 costs still. Seems like they're drawing even more instants. End of turn. What is this? 5 mana? Draw 2. Damn. That's indeed the one thing that this card cannot beat. Mr. Streamer, this song is not good. May we skip to the next one? So it was a little bit tiring, yeah, let's skip. See, it makes that any fetch can grab the water grave, draw in non-white fetch. So you have the tutor coming. I think I actually don't want to Fotsies now. Faithful Mending might be harder to cast in Charter Course, but the grindiness and being an instant seems worth it. I would argue that being the grindiness of Charter Course is higher than Mending's. Being an instant is relevant, but not here. I think. Well, not much in this deck as it's a very sorcerer speed deck. Even with the flashback, right? You can just go down a card. The first activation. So I do think it's well, maybe they're better still. But I wouldn't say their grindness is better. Like they might be better because they're better, but not because they're more grindy. What's the point playing? This should let you know. Quick, I need to screenshot. Ah, fuck. Didn't get there in time. So they have another inverter in the deck. We know. I'm casting Fotsies for sure. We can prismatic ending a 4-drop in this deck. Might be worth thinking about. Okay, they counter spell this. Griefers. I'm just gonna cast the Grief. On the 8th land, I think. Not much use in Persist, but I guess not much use in Prismatic Ending, so I'll discard Prismatic Ending. Yeah, it pitches a Soldier too. I am aware of that. I know that the Manning is the default one. Alright, they take the Oracle, they have nothing. They get a second Inverter, Archmage's Charms, some other stuff. But I didn't screenshot. 2 Archmage's Charms, but if they fail to draw, then the Grease are gonna kill them, I guess. So, well. This is a Tainted Indulgence Mirror. We haven't seen my opponent play that card. They do get to attack me though, but I guess that's because they don't get to block. Yeah, it pushes in there too. I think MTG Pod is that literally every set release and there is a reason for that. I don't know if it's a good one. I think Solitude is not great for this matchup, and I think Jace the Mind Sculptor, Mystical Dispute is gonna be welcome. Maybe 2 Turaks. Or maybe just keep 2 Solitudes to be able to exile anything ever. I guess Prismatic Ending is even worse. You can have Flusterstorm, they have Magus Charms, that's not the worst card. You can have Dress Down, I guess can counter Inverter. Or Oracle Trigger. Yeah, that sounds solid. I don't think Leyline because Leyland can actually Leyland can they can sidestep. So maybe worth including a fourth color on for prismatic ending in the stack somewhere. And in Dantha or I guess like any Xander's launch or whatever triumph you would want over a dual land. Well, that's a hand. Skip. Grief is a great draw, and I will pass the first turn and put an arc on my graveyard. It's kind of sketch, especially since, as we see, my opponent's playing Fozzies in their deck, and that, throws a makes it problematic. Why would you keep that? To discard this in my cleanup on turn one. Of course, if my opponent Fozzies me on turn one, that sounds a bit silly, and I guess maybe could argue they shouldn't expect stuff like that to happen. I would fetch a Triumph, but unfortunately, empty Gold Boss didn't have the Triumph yet, so I'm playing without the Triumph. I think this is Malakir Rebirth Gaming now. Is it? I think it is. Are you playing the Esper Triumph? As I just said, we're not playing the Esper Triumph as they don't have it for sale yet. Because the set was on model literally like 40 minutes ago. So it takes a while for the rares, but they had all commons, all uncommons already. Yeah, well, there's a mighty slow hand. Like, probably can get better hands, but you asked why they keep this, which like, no, that was the reason too. Sure, I will. It is a counterspell deck, so it is not in my best interest to deploy the Teferi here. I don't think so. Should play the Flood Strand because I already have planes in hand. Can draw Fotsis or Griefers. You might want to play Jace. I assume they play Jace Wilder of Mysteries or something. So then it seemed like they didn't have Charm because they didn't Charm. Now they have Charm. What's the reason for Charge Course or Faithful Mending? One goes -1 card and the other one goes no -1 card. So I chose the one that doesn't go -1 card to try it out. So I don't have any cards that advantage my deck. Although I think it's likely that Indulgence is still going to be the better one. Not Indulgence. Well, Indulgence will, but Chart. Not Chart. The black-white one. The blue-white one. Mending. Seems like we could use. Like, seems like I would be happy to draw a bit more of them per game, as both games I kind of spend time not having my pieces together, and that's kind of not super. That's not a good fetch. Should fetch another blue. Well, since my opponent now has a tutor coming, I think we gonna deploy Time Traveler. Huh, that is surprising. So I guess we get their tutor. We will draw. Another land, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Two more lands you can cast this. So. I get this Scry though. Or Mega Shark from Shark Typhoon. The Mega Shark can just. Oh. Damn, owned. Kinda. I mean, if they play Inverter, they still have a big graveyard. What game is this? It's Magic the Gathering. As Dakon forced the Black Blade for Greadron Dihada and unwittingly forced himself into her schemes. Is it Dakon's thing that he's like drawn in this weird style? It doesn't exist besides that style, past that. Fine got me good. Good thing I didn't plus, good thing I drew. It is game 2, yeah. Char, what if there was a land that would be called Urborg? Like, well, what if there was a land like Urborg, but instead of Urborg, it would be called Uroborg, and every land would be an Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Yeah, but not Urborg, but Uroborg. Two opts, Fotsis. Kmeges Delta Otawara Tutor Fotsis. So we just need to draw a discard spell. Well, not this direction though. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're lacking a 1-drop, so. You could exile the inverter and then that doesn't work still, but you can discard land. It's fine. Griffers. Chat, how many times do you think we're going to draw 2 cards off of Tainted Indulgence today? Without discarding. Then draw 12 of them. Is Inverter not playing relics anymore? Who knows what Inverter is playing exactly? They drew a Tawara waiting on the Solitude that actually was not beneficial. You potentially drew the Thoughtseize. Spike play Inverter a week or two ago, damn. In that case, well, was he playing Prelix then? I guess is the next question. I was inspired by how the Reanimator deck looked like for sure. Can you handle the truth? It's no relics. Nah, he doesn't have delve cards. I guess no, Cling. Cling is a nice delve card. I played the Cling, I think. Once was pretty nice. Well, kinda low, just 3 delve cards. And 2 of them are those cards kinda small. Inverter again. Okay. I wonder if my opponent even has cards that are. Salted seems so bad. Let's have the 2 racks. I wonder if my opponent's gonna keep pushes. But this is kinda like not absolutely not the game I want to play. Cap? I guess I also kept a shit hand, which is why it kinda turned out to be poor. I was very confused as to how opponent was playing banned cards before realizing this is not Pioneer. True. Not nice. Playing in lane liners. Take the Archmages. For mana free to beast, let's go. I also have the fairies in my deck. Bounce this. Focus on them, like Kans was ever going to assemble a reanimation plan, exactly. I should cycle dress down. I think I should cycle maybe in their main. Guess now I can, if I draw like black card into a regrieve spell, we can do that. So we have a 4 mana 4 free. Excuse me. Very much. Outcast Indulgence. I guess if I have no graveyard, it's better to lead on it, yeah. Incast Griefers. Not gonna be pitching it. I think it's the one I want to trade for Counter Spell. What Caesars, but we have 2 strong ones. We've got 2 strong men to cast. And maybe, just maybe, we're going to be able to draw 2 cards with chart. Depending on if they value higher and if Thorak resolves. Probably not the brightest idea to play this, but I assume this probably will get countered. They'll be left with Oracle in hand. Alright. And cast Griefers now. Upon 3-pounder counter magic. Dress down. Oh, that's fine. So we dress downing each other. And next turn you can attack and draw 2. And that will show them. Malaki Rebirth less good with Leyland play. Let's see if they counter that. Like they do counter everything. Seem to be a great grief midrange deck, chat. Definitely much better here, card course, than the other guy. Resolves. Maybe Charda course was there all along and we should have just played it. I don't quite want to fetch. Pretty crucial life points difference. So I'm in a good discard. Well, this legal grounds. No. I think we need to bounce the inverter. Or do we need to bounce anything, right? They have counter magics in hand. They kind of want to bounce the inverter, and it's very risky for them to, because they have so many discard spells to draw. They don't have more mana. Oh, that's nice. We can fetch. Yeah, we can still do that. But we actually, I want to keep it. If they play inverter, I'll Thoughtseize them, they'll die. Unless they have 2 oracles. We know they have 1 oracle. They might have 2 oracles. They have 2 oracles, we can Thoughtseize the inverter. Actually, well, no, yeah. Because then they can't play the inverter. Not quite, because... So what's the reason to hold off the Thoughtseize? It's so that... It's such bad to discard to keep the Valkyrie Bear for a fetch, but not very important. Hopefully, unless I top deck the Archon immediately. So if they have 2 oracles and I wait, they get me. Well, no, they can't quite cast the inverter if they don't draw polluted delta. If they draw Thoughtseize, they get me. If they draw counter magic, that's useless. They draw Thoughtseize, they can Thoughtseize me, but not play inverter. They're being clocked. Interesting spot. If we discard, they have inverter, we discard inverter, and they have 6 cards in the deck. Can they possibly win in time? 6 cards, they would draw like Archmages, go to 4 cards, they have 3 cards. What do you lose by Thoughtseizing them? Well, I lose the chance for auto winning if they play inverter, but that only works if they draw the delta because they have an empty graveyard. I don't think I lose much though. I think I probably should do it immediately. Because they don't play the inverter. That's like the default state, so they don't play the inverter. No. So the thing is, what I lose is that they now get to play inverter and clock me. Because inverter now kills me already fetch, so it's too late. Inverter kills me in enough hits. But they can't play it unless they draw. Okay, so they can draw delta and then play the inverter, and that way I can get raised. Oh yeah, if I take Oracle, they can play. That's the thing. So that's what I lose. Then you take the inverter. So it's kind of weird, yeah. So that's why you didn't want to Fotsis, kinda, right? Because now I can take this, but if they have two oracles, better kills you faster, I guess. Yeah, now that they do not charm immediately, I think they will not win in time. Through the Archon, after keeping this over a land, genius. They can do maybe dress down Oracle tricks, I guess. So they can kill me in time. But I got punished here for like the super loose, like why they keep freaking two rebirths and this like over keeping the delta. Okay, dress down being used is good for me. Although they have 3 cards now, so they kill me next turn, but we get saved. Poke champion. Dios mío, that was close. Malice spreads on the wings of Tyranny. Oh. Come on, college boys. 8-man lightning helix. Yeah. It's like a Blood Red Elf that always cascades into a helix. Maybe there's an 8-mana cascade card. Cascade, 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 cascade. Nice. It's like a Maelstrom Colossus that always cascades into Lightning Helix. Actually, it's more like a Maelstrom Colossus that always cascades into Cruel Ultimatum. Sort of. Cascade 7 mana, 1 tap, sacrifice an artifact, return target artifact control is owner's hand. Should anyone else play the Commander Legends? Limited set. Is it base or flame? Was it on Modo actually? Would fetch Triumph turn 1. Oh, this multiplayer? Cringe. It's terrible. This is some sort of an affinity deck, seems like. When I played this after Mulgang to 5, I got scared. I got petrified, but... The Venn diagram of canny viewers and corner players is 2 circles on different planets. Probably true, but... I ult so hard, I think forcing them punishes them harder. Not even casting the analysis, and next turn we bounce their land, so I kinda want to take the Ornithopter. Bounce their land twice now. Can draw more for scissors. Perennial clating. Oh, they will be able to kill the fairy. If my opponent had a Ragavan turn won this game, I would be in trouble. They did actually equip the crab token instead of cracking the clue. I think we might draw 2 cards next time of this chat. They also might have a relic or something like that in their deck. What does the Venn diagram of kind viewers and kind viewer look like? Say circle. I got their chat, divination. Duro. Tainted Indulgence allows me to draw 2 cards on the top of my deck and put them straight into my hand. Should be able to control them pretty well with Solitude. It's gonna be smart, kinda smart with the Fairy bounce the Citadel next turn. Not as smart anymore. Can bounce the Crabster, but not strong anymore. Did you know that crab's lifespan may be over 60 years? I did, yeah. I mean, it might be cast Malaki Rebirth at this point and just like use my Ephemerate to control them, or like play planes and then next to Malaki Rebirth as a land. Sort of Ephemerate and just have Charter Course if we get to attack with the Soul to draw 2 at this point. Because we don't have the Reanimate spell. Yeah, they might have any relic. So we just played the fair game. Hashtag functional deck. I know. Let's do it now. So you don't get hit by any tricks. Did you win versus Inverter? I did. I discarded their inverter and then they died. Also top decked my eighth land right on time after foolishly discarding my eighth land previously and then having to top deck instead of just keeping it. Which is like kinda why am pretty excited about the Grixis version too. Because I think Ragavan treasure making ramping you up to 8 is pretty powerful. They got an Ornithopter, is that the best they could do? Really? Let's exile the monster even though. Wow, they have 1 mana Tainted Indulgence. Very true. Is it water for this deck to go blue-black? It's possible. Scanning the Archon a bit. Extending the Archon a bit, maybe not super, but... As some heavy nettle sistage. I got stressed because it died and I was like, damn. You can draw 2 prismatic ending next turn. I guess they make a construct. Well, if they equip and attack for a lot, they don't make a construct. So yeah, that's why my play was genius. You know, they have a nettle cyst. Enough divinations in your deck, you can just do whatever and it's going to beat people. It didn't do anything. Let's keep Grief back. And again, in combat, draw 2. Powerful. Would be nice to have some castles or some other utility lands, but I don't know which ones. Hot take, but I think Ledger Shredder is the wave, the bear that connives. Maybe it's the wave. I assume that's good. Remember when I fought sees the an ornithopter on turn 1 of this game over a Nettlesis, and now this very Nettlesis is going to hurt me. Might be a bit tough. No. Yeah, good thing the ornithopter is getting dealt with though. I assumed my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divinations are going to yield me something, but I drew half my deck and I get through 1 Archon, so then I pitched it. But if we play 4 Archons, that means 1 Archon every 15, and they still didn't cast the Nettlesis, so it's not that bad. You're going to get to use Neferi. Again. Can draw Fotsis. Can draw Ephemerate. Can draw some nice stuff. Can draw like even Griefers. Or Flooded Strand. Which is poetic because I am get it flooded. Just joining, how has Indulgence been? We drew 2 cards 3 times with it. I think it seems obvious. Well, I'm playing against Pizza decks, but it seems pretty obviously fine. Well, maybe we want... Maybe the late game churning of the Esper card is okay. Especially if you like actually have the divinations, you can like afford the 1 time upfront minus cards. More, it's fine. +9. Big. Can equip this and Shadow Spear onto Memnite, I guess. Kinda want to try out Band Neo from Urza. Does this have any new cards or is it just... I think it's a scam. Yeah, well, I think it's a poor deck, probably. Alright, let's make the Fairy bounce. That's nice. We drew Persist, which we can cast on Grief. Will I survive by Archon Cruelty? I think I will. Let's make sure. We make Construct. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So you make Construct, end of turn. We just 10. Untap. Make under Construct, make under Artifact. 11. Gets plus... No, it's a 8, 8. 10 gets plus 19. If we block a Solitude, if we draw a white card, it's super easy then to. So I think I can play the Archon, you can block. Oops. Nine mana Archon. White Shadow cards were Faithful Mending because one draws two cards and discards one, the other discards two. But I think I actually would seeing how those games go, I think I would actually prefer Mending. Not sure. I guess like chart had been relatively okay too. They get Ether Spellbomb, I guess they can kill me if they play that. Kinda need all those lands to cast Archon. Yeah, well, indeed. Well, not quite. Like here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 lands, right? So I could do with 10. Can discard Mending into Indulgence though. Sure. Yeah, well, the flashback is nice. The flashback is nice. For sure. Being a white card over a mono blue card is nice too. Ginger Brute. Okay. So make 22. I make 12 unblockable. They don't even equip the Shadow Spear? Bro. What the hell? They don't even give haste? What the hell, bro? Seen better plays. I think my opponent is not playing super great this game. I think with more powerful moves I could have got it begotten, but I didn't know I have a Salted in hand, so maybe they're kind of afraid too, but can be afraid. You know, the Archon and the Salted up and like persist on their Salted, they will be kind of done now. I think I have to refresh cache in this, as they say. Sure, well, in soon. It's fine. Good draw. She went ahead and not pre-recorded. I think 1-2. I'm 1-0. Alright, doesn't work. Just refreshing doesn't work. Anyway, we're 1-0 and this is game 1 in the second match. Pengu's the most cursy mode. It's certainly amongst the more cursed, yeah. It's pretty wild one. Hard evidence. Oh yeah. Show me that hard evidence, buddy. Can't even tap mana. Are they playing hard evidence just for 8 tokens? Hard evidence is a combo with Moonstone Prototype because you can play both Moonstone Prototype and Springleaf Drum, and you can tap your single card hard evidence for 2 mana then if you have both in play. Once you just take 11, I think I'll block the Gingerbread if I can. But I guess I'll just take 11, yeah. It's 5 fair, I'm not sure if it's good though. I think we have one more Hallowed Fountain, so I can fetch it out of the deck. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Few lands in my deck would be left. Oh shit, 9, 11. Guess you can do that. I'd be happy to draw a removal, Prismatic Ending, Solitude, Ephemerate, the Fairy, Archon, Persist. Many good draws. But of course I can also draw a Marsh Flash number 3. Let's go. Well, here comes Smash Plus number 4, so kind of poetic, right? They draw a plating. How much power do they even have? One, they had 9, so there would be 8. Plus 8. Plus 9. Plus 9. 9, 9, 9. Those lands are useless. I guess I have Urborg, so not really. Not quite useless, but not very useful. If you lose this game after attacking with Archon twice, that'll be kinda cringe, yeah. Or rather, that would be a great... Well, that would be because I discarded the Ornithopter ages ago. No lands to fetch, I fetched all the lands, yeah. Kurwa. No. No! Shit. That's actually enough, right? No, that's 20. Good, good, good. They don't have the mana for Gingerbread anymore. They don't have the mana to activate Gingerbread. They let me champ with the Gingerbread earlier to draw with a clue. That was kind of poor. So yeah, we didn't want to fetch because of that too. You can draw on the Archon. You kind of need to. O kurczę, dziękuję. Ephemerate is good. Should I attack with the Grief or Does it block anything? Doesn't block anything. What a stupid game. Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. Du, 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 du. Du, 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 du. Du, 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 du. So what do we do? Draw step Ephemerate on this. Then they activate Blink Moth, Equip, and Shadow Spear. So that's good for me. Really just keep the Ephemerate and kill the equipped one. Probably. Let's see if I have the game win locked with the Aircon. Not really, because Buka, no grab. No scratching. Come. So their draws to blink this, they sacrifice this, they discard the card, they go to 6, they go to 15. Then they activate Blink Moth, and they can equip, equip. They can't equip twice. So mm, mm, they can go this and this, then, and they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 powers I cannot block. And they go to so I'll go to I guess I'll crack the waterlock growth. Ah wait. Whatever. Because they can also access new cards and who knows what's gonna happen. I'll just wait. See you, Ginger Bro. They can blink the Archon because they can't activate the Blink Mob Nexus. Right? Yeah. Could have responded the first equip, right? Sure, but what does the benefit of that? Wow, this new MTGA update looks great. Cringe. GZ dot 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 TY dot dot dot. I think we take out 2 Thoughtseize and bring the dress downs. That's kinda it. GG opponent had no chance, yeah. Good job. Exactly. Any other cards making rounds in Modern besides Indulgence from New Kappa? Oh no, it's kinda early. So rares are hard to gauge still. I don't know, let's say keep. Maybe. Spike's playing John of Riveteer's Charm. Yeah, that's a card you could play too. The Riveteer's Charm is pretty pog. I wonder if my deck should play like a land less. Kind of feels like it. Yes. I should have Takenuma or something. Yeah, or like some castle, but I don't know what castle. Like black and white castles kind of stink. In Griefers to check for traps. Then we can reanimate Archon. No traps, just bad hand. Like Black Castle? Is Black Castle modern acceptable? I can maybe find Ether Spell and bounce my guy, but it's okay. The Kenuma seems better, yeah. The Kenuma mills, you can get back an Elemental. With Black Castle, I'll be taking tons of damage. And like Takenuma is the worst color, kinda, because I would much rather play a Ganjo, White Channel Land, but the effect is so much worse. Takenuma actually kinda grindy. Oh, they have the Ether Spellbomb. Bułka, kurwa, nie drap, no, rozumiesz to? Słoneczko, żeby nie drapać. Two cards in my graveyard. Well, that's not ahead anymore, but they killed a fairy. You can prismatic the construct and then draw two. Although I don't know, maybe I'm on going to 8. Maybe I'm going to try to hit 8 at this point. Mana. You only bounce the first one and you don't have another reanimation. They have another saga. We kinda lock ourselves into not discarding anymore, right? So it's a bit weird. We have 5 mana values now. We do, yeah. Okay, good. My divination is pretty good, but my hand not so much. Thank you for the raid spike. Well, Hardcast Archons are incoming, but it's gonna take a while. IFL keep Thorn. What's IFL? I freaking love, I guess. opponent is pretty decent at drawing many saggers. I think I'll be playing 4 dress downs in the new version of this deck that's coming soon because it's honestly kinda outrageous. I'm falling victim of heavy spanking right now. 'Cause that's the best thing for Esper decks, right? To against Saga, if you play Esper, what do people play against Saga? Seas. For the resonance kinda cringe to even play explosives. I don't. I guess yeah, explosives for the March. March is plausible. A bit of a stinker though. Explosives for the Rhinos coverage pretty good too. Do I think that a red black mid range deck in modern should put Obnix, or isn't that card good enough for the deck? I'm not really a believer in Obnixless in the format now. So I don't think they do like that much. To a point where you need to answer the planeswalkers. I think that's true in standard and pioneer. Less cards, lesser card pool formats is Mulligan. Cap. I wouldn't hate a Manland too in this deck, but what? Shambling Vent, Celestial Colonnade, Creeping Tarpedes, Hall of the Storm Giants, Dragon something. All the Storm Giants really bad color for this deck to be my Manland, so could see Baron playing Obnixus for additional reach, really. I think that's a reach. It seemed worse than Faithful Manning so far. Flashback is a big deal. Indulgence? Worse than that? No. We drew 2 cards. But I would. I would not draw 2 cards with that other card. But I think playing more is also just like playing 7 maybe better. It also would help with the flooding, the endings. Other order better? Yeah, I guess they gain 1 less. But I actually wanted to give them more life to give them a fair chance. So it really depends on your perspective. See, like now they would be at 15, which is 5 soul to the attacks, and now they're at 16. So how they don't draw Gingerbrute. Most of the prototype, if we bounce that, they can't play a free drop. But if they have a land, they can play the free drop anyways. They played an island last turn, they cast a podcast, so they likely have a land. I think better to cast to bounce the plating, I guess, the more expensive card. Maybe can bounce Solitude with the second one, but should bounce two things, they need a land to cast Thought Monitor. No, I mean, Metaphor is at 6, would be wasting a card for a marginal benefit. She addicted to rocks. Oh, 12, 12 life again, okay. Oops. Attack, they won't have the balls to block. Only have persist anyway, so it's okay if they do that. Comeback is real. I mean, I think I was slightly advantaged, so it's not they coming back in a that big of a way necessarily. We didn't see counter magic from them, so let's wait till they equip. I don't think we're racing. This is in play. And we also give them life with solitude, so I don't think we're racing. I don't think we're racing. Decent draw. I think I'll bounce the solitude. Like there's no other bouncage that's good. That's fine too. Can keep the Teferi. Oh sure, that's like even the proper. We're entering the not too much time available portion of the game though. Yes, we're up in time. And I guess they need to kill me. Dismember. Which member? Dismember. Not nice though. Well, Harkas Archon could in combat phase we have to get an Archon. Unfortunately, all of their creatures are threatening now with Nettle Cysts. I guess when they have like this much mana, the mana sink of Nettle Cysts is pretty nice. Can persist instant speed, right? With the fairy plus, I can, yeah. Fortunately, they can also relic of Proga into instant speed, which can pose to be a challenge. Damn, this game on my points I almost got me excited about Affinity. Kind of want to drop and change this deck a little bit. Yeah, well, we do go over the top with the Archon, but we fail to. If we go full 8 and like cut 2 lands because I was flooding. Probably don't need the Uroborg. 21 lands with those. This plus this is really ugly. Well, I wanted the Esper Triumph, but I couldn't buy it yet. Maybe I can buy it now. Let me check. Okay, gold bots have one. So let's get one Triumph. We can one fetch for the Takenuma, or the Takenuma with Mending, more like cringing. Faithful cringing. And the Mendings are going to, you know, You don't flood with mending times 4 in your deck. I think it's pretty decent when you refrain from playing Frog Might. Fair. Mending also occupies unused mana. Yeah, when you're flooding. Then like when you can recoup this with divinations. That would be the plan. Alright, let's drop from this 1-1 league. And let's rejoin. This time with the Esper Triumph. What do you think about removing the Grief Soul to the Ephemerate Malakir for a more control package? Maybe leave one Ephemerate to eventually protect Archon. I tried to build that and I couldn't. It didn't seem very satisfying. Like something along this way. Counter spell, Archmage's Charm. You'd have the Hall of the Storm Giants then too for flooding. Alright, I understand why we don't run Grizzlebrand. But I feel like we could make a version of it that's solid. Spike was playing a reanimation deck once with Grizzlebrand, Glorious Vengeance, and then he could have reanimated. Archmage might be a bit too much on mana. Not really. Like you're gonna fetch a Triumph, it's gonna be so good. Like obviously you build your mana with Archmage's Charm in mind, like you don't play non-blue lands. Things that's doable, but you know, you just need to. Of course, you're not gonna be playing it alongside less Courtyard. Charles on 0. Sure. I got Charles, bro. Makes you think they have another Chalice? Probably. But also, it's fine. Not sure which one we do want to lead on. I think we want to lead on Indulgence. Because unlikely both of them will be turned on and I prefer to operate from a bigger hand. Could Griefers ephemerate them. Not in love. They deploy the fairy, then I might be sad. But they will counterspell Griefers, that's like the natural behavior, so I think we don't want to. How is Tainted Indulgence? Absolutely insane, bros. It's earth shattering. They played the fairy, we're just gonna hardcast Griefers. Light chase on 1. Yeah. I think mending now. This can be turned on. Solid. One, two, three, four. If I wasn't playing Muldrifter in this list, I think Muldrifter is a little bit cap, as they say, in the format of Modern. I think I'll just get the Archon. It's fine if they kill it. Play Tapland. We can protect the Ephemerate, unfortunately, because of the Hallis, but so could have, like, it's fine if they pitch Solitude. The Fairy Boss, less fine. Supreme Verdict. Sure. Mana values means converted mana values. Yes, indeed, that is the meaning of that. Empress. Empress seems toughest. Have 4 mana values. We're missing Grief for Solitude in the graveyard. Unfortunately, Solitude exiles. Do you need to stretch into white? I don't think I'm stretching. But I tried to build a blue black and I couldn't find a satisfying way to build it. Can draw our own Solitude. Yeah, let's just play it. You can, mending and find something good. They have a prismatic ending, which is nothing. Archmage's Charm draw 2, good draw. I think we lead with the one from the graveyard. We get a. Can discard Solitude and Ephemerate. Since I draw 2 now. We can get Archon of Cruelty. And we Passerati. Nice Plains Brusky, yeah. Missing that. What's the name? Can you guess that milkshake brought any boys into your yard? My milkshake does not bring boys to the yard. No, wait, does it? Well, how was the song? Interesting. Dot 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 dot. Mending makes indulgence better. Dot dot dot. Yeah, it's very interesting. Sure, it's fine. Wait, what? Oh, Archon is not my graveyard anymore. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Next turn, 8 mana. As well discard the Chalice. We'll have the Fairy in play anyways. Yeah, almost iteration. Almost iteration. My opponent has taken 2 Archons, resolving like a champignon so far. It has to be admitted. But now we're in the hardcasting Archons part of the game, which my deck will inevitably get to because I'm playing Divinations for 2 mana. So I have Turak Dread Cantor and Jace the Mind Sculptor that we are definitely going to include in our deck. Don't want Duress Down, don't want Brutality. I don't think I want Flusterstorm against their deck. As a Chalice Gamer, definitely want less Prismatic Ending, less Solitude, probably less Ephemerate. The Ephemerate Grief is like PogChamp enough. That's probably gonna keep the Ephemerates over the removal spells. I just have 1 Fluster. So how's been Tainted Indulgence so far? It's been absolutely insane, drawing 2 cards left and right, and sometimes discarding when needed. Good stuff. I think you can keep. It's kinda, risky, but I'm gonna go for the move. I think maybe hits rest in peace. Yeah, maybe it does. Million. I don't know what to fetch. Psychological damage. Well, your opponent is right. They can't wait until that interaction gets bent to the ground, as it won't. So no amount of waiting would help. my name is my opponent's name is Fedora Storm, which is funny because Fedora have a meme quality to it. Do I have a list for Nicol Bolas Dragon God? I don't. I think they meant Fetchland to Shockland was pretty good, yeah. I just wanted to cast their spells. Well, nothing prevented them from playing a Chancellor one. Actually, had a one lander. Although I was top decking a second land, so then I would be filtering towards the Teferi on turn 3. Did I ever wear a fedora? Be honest. I don't think so. Yeah, it is pretty weird that people get so hung up on so emotional about grief living and grief. Garrett's one of the stages of grief through. 2 base to spell piece my Fotsies. I mean, like, it's reasonable. They want to consider. It does feel pretty bad when they grief you and they ephemerate it. Very sad song. Let's go say divination. Yeah, opponent respects the divination. The whip cards were added to Magic Online. I'm not sure if they got added to the program actually. I keep two persisters so you can persist twice. Still don't have the promo Wandering Emperor. Cringe. On Godbots added. They have Unholy Heat and Lightning Bolts. There's no way they have a counter spell. If we draw a Swarm, we can just try twice. The Heat, it's good for me too. Damn, Poke Champion. They might actually want to hit immediately. Which is very good for me. Unless they have Pierce. Because of the Survival trigger. Doesn't seem to be the case though. Actually, I can interfere and persist again because they will hit. Hit the Archon. But the card advantage should make work of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 costs in the graveyard. Damn. Archon of Cruelty should be a free 8 TBH. Be better. They have a bot in hand, we know. Wow. So let's try the 4 ley line stratagem. No, I don't know how to reasonably fit them, but let's try the 4 ley line stratagem. This is blue red. Maybe just 3. No, I have 4 in the sideboard. I have to 4. Use 4. I got the Ephemerate. Like typically kind of weak against their deck. Less so with Grief, but maybe this way. So as has been noticeably better than the previous Reanimator. I think so. I haven't played the previous Reanimator in a while. Leyline is probably not the graveyard head you want this deck. Living End is already almost unlostable according to Spike. In general, I would advise against thinking necessarily in those categories of like, the graveyard head you want in this deck. Because I want Leyline because I think it's potentially based against Murktide Regent decks, right? It's also a bad argument. If you're playing against Living End often and the ley lines will raise your win rate, it's still fine. It's still good to have that. Yeah, but I think ley line is probably better against blue red than Nile Spellbomb. I actually wanted to try them. What if Living End just puts 40 power into play? Then you put 2 Archons into play together with them, and then they go pow pow. You can play around Blood Moon a bit. Well, I just want fetch for now. They don't seem very Blood Moony. And also Leyline in this deck with discard ways to discard cards and grief, it's relatively well equipped when it comes to bearing the load of its own Leyline, right? Which not every deck is. So I think Leyline is in general kind of great, and let's play around days. Well, you can just kill the creature. They can extract, but they probably won't. But I think Leyline has very high. Just it's 2 great decks. It seems like a great inclusion. Very high value against 2 top decks. And even if you already are 60% as Living End, if that is to be believed, which I think it is fair to say, as discarding Archon is very tough for them to overcome. Experience from both sides. Nice play. Then it wouldn't hurt if you play against it, 12% of your matches you play against Living End, you still take that improvement here. And still improve your win rate. Better than if you play the sideboard card that's fine against the Living End deck, or not even like less fine against Living End, but more fine against, I don't know, Dredge, which is 1%. Not Hanger Margraves, yeah. Margrave probably top card against them. Because you need to be fast against Living End. Alright, bro, you're gonna kill my Archon? I assume so. No killing? Damn. Cast on a scale of 1 to 10, how good was this deck before Tainted Indulgence, and what it is it after? It was a 4, and no, it's, I don't know, a 7. I'm guessing. I don't know if it's a 7. 6 and 9, good. Well said. Here I played around 2 dazes. Yeah, we have defeated the best deck quite soundly. So that was pretty nice. We kind of have the tools now, and I guess maybe silly of me for just not putting 8 enablers immediately, but I don't know, maybe just this deck has the tools, has the power, so I guess those, if you play 8 things, then maybe you just gets consistency too. You have Leylands for Living and Fog Blue Reds, Chase Turax for 4 color, Brutality for Burn, Dress Down, Exploits for Sagas, Blaster Storms for Cascades. And this for Rhinos too with Cascades. So it kind of like, it seems like we have most things covered. I imagine Indulgence doesn't draw out the discard often. Yeah, it happens in longer games, but well, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different costs, so it can definitely happen. Also, the Grixis version of this deck build, which has Seasoned Pyro and Tainted Indulgence. I wonder if Charlie Course is just better even though it's a sorcery. Well, I started with 2 Charter Course and 4 Indulgence, but I think I'd prefer 4. I mean, Charter Course versus that. Well, I don't think you often attack in this deck. This doesn't have creatures, right? This is way better than Charter Course. Play against Canny Tech. Hand is shit, but I'll keep. Then fetch Esper Triumph now. Or should I say Raffine's Tower? Because that's how we call the Esper Triumph nowadays. Okay, probably going to kill the Sigardozade to avoid getting hammered. Can wait for Cancer to get upset and mold after keeping this shit hand. Yeah, I think it's turning out fine. Spercentino, okay. Steel Shaper's Gift. The Reality Chip, that's a good sign. But yeah, it also seems like 8 digging spells is good because you dig a lot, you draw your extra lands through your digging. It's all nice. Impressive. I equip the Reality Chip with the Paradise Mantle. Alright, my patience has run out. Now is the perfect moment to strike. Tap my Raffine's Tower for Esper Sentinel tax. Draw some cards, I guess. Please just tell me this deck is bad so I don't buy it. This deck is bad. Don't buy it. What card is that? Can save the ferry? I don't think it really matters though. One, two, three, four. You pitch soul to then draw 2. Okay, how inconvenient this to cast staff. Draw 2, then you can mending. Find the Archon. One, two, three, four, five. Well, there are going to be draws they die too. But this can get another hammer anyways. Take the cheaperoni. Like I'll die to... Well, I could ending the Mem Knight, not to die to Paladin, but I don't know. I want hand size. And again go Nettleses, which we then want to exile. Yeah. Aran chan chan. Arami. Arami. Can cast 2 mendings in the next turn if I play my 6th land, also working towards Archons. Of course, I have less stuff to discard, so it's kinda close. But I'm looking to find one specific card and discard one specific card, so. And also, like, just maybe get to 8 manas. But I did draw 2 mendings this game and ran out of cards, which is the typical mending danger. Not bad. It's kind of tough. I think I should just cast it down. We are drawing towards Ephemerate, we are drawing towards... Archon persist, just persist too. Oh, like they can make construct. Fine. They wouldn't do it on my turn, so yeah. Solid. Well, he's always saying we come in peace. Weird, why didn't they equip? They forgot. I thought they say we come in peace. No, it doesn't make sense, peace. I got an Ornithopter. Not too impressive. Now they have a hammer in hand. I think I'm just happy to keep casting those cards that they draw. Like Paladin is manageable now. They have 6 power in play. They have 34 life. Soon to be 35. But I think I'm favored from this spot. Like they really only have Saga to top deck or some Paladin into stuff. Let's take a draw. Stack needs square something to turn those filters into card advantage. Well, we have we have divinations in the deck. That was supposed to help. They drew 3 lootings and no divinations. So all of those games go weirdly long, and I kind of failed to assemble the things. But I mean, I'm not losing either. The blue red game didn't go long. We just won. Maybe the secret mix is 2 mending, 2 chart, 2 tainted indulgence, huh? It's a decent draw. Certainly the mendings are felt. Like I mean, I still have them, so I'm filtering through like potentially it could be a flood or like a stack hand, but also running out of cards kinda. Look at me, I'm canister now. Show us my browsing history. What? Alright, finally we got there. Yes, Hammerina, we have dress down, explosives, and potentially a 2-1 protection from white, but that seems pretty bad. Or do we not want against Hammer if you want the dress downs explosives? Probably not full 4 Fotsis. Or not full 4 Fotsis plus Grief. Maybe I just don't want Fotsis against them. Maybe just Grief. I'll cut 2 of each, I think. Like they play blue cards, so Fotsising is useful, kinda still. Da-da-da-da. Moo Ligan. I think Moo Ligan, yeah. Co wkładasz na Murktida? Leyline włożyłem. Jak grałem przed chwilą. Za Ephemerate 2 mendingi było włożone. Caldra complete. Alright, I think we grief. Persist grief. What a druid gamer, just hammer. Not sure what's my plan here. And I'll take their cards and they will top deck a saga and then I'll die. While they holding their tricks. I mean, I'm just gonna wait till I have 5 mana and play Tefari. Maybe just play twice Teferi in a row. Yeah. In that case, let's do that. Let's play it around them drawing Nettleses. I think 2 damage not worth it. Giving up the grief in case they did. They have their own Tefari. Damn. Well, they bounced the grief though. It's not that good. Just might get it. Just might get it. Just might get it. Bounce the Stoneforge. Damn. Very Stoneforge bouncer. 1, 2, 3. If they cast a trick, I will bounce my Griefers. Another Pierce? Come on. Come on, bro. Come on. They have skill and they... Hopefully they don't play Lion Sash. Nobody does. Can I start streaming in the evening question mark? They released a new set and it took a while. So that's why it's late. Late stream match. It's kind of scary. We might just get it. I'm gonna draw 2. We might just get it. Well, it's okay. We're going to explode the chip in this. Take the skill. Yeah, so let's take the Stoneforge, and then we're gonna take the skill. I guess they protect the cheap, that's gonna be awkward. But I would need the power of precognition to do so. Hopefully they won't play skill at the top. Oh yeah, play more 2-drops, bro. Play those 2-drops, broski. So we're gonna leave them with the skill, they're tapped out. This is a pleb triumph. Well, sort of, yeah. But other versions are not available. Yeah, the only one Goatbots had to sell. So they have 13 life. They got nothing. We have this. So we might, well, they have the skill. We have a planes, I guess. We compare our own stuff. Caldra discarded. They get a hammer. Wow. Really hammer. Guess you don't have Nettle Assist. Oh, you bought it down, Nettle Assist. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Salted, not so good. Duro 2. Persist. Alright, you can persist Solitude. We can ephemerate it then, so we can do stuff. There's kind of no point in attacking, though. Don't want to trade this for the skill. Salted, not good. Well, it's not that good against the Giver of Runes and the Blacksmith skill in hand. Certainly not better than Tainted Indulgence. Draw 2. Should have draw step griefed. I don't know why I didn't draw step grief. I even had a stop, but I was like, yeah, I have the stop still and unchecked. Any new cards that you're looking at for your Folklore Yorion list? I'm no longer playing Yorion. Ever. Again. Let's make it so they can't cast the trick on Sentinel so they can't pay for it. Are you ever playing Brigade again ever? I'm not opposed to, but with Yorion I just feel like you always feel like you barely lost, but you just lose all the time. And I think I need to play proactive decks. When I play proactive decks, this can happen, right? 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. With Yorion it would be like 2-1, 2-1, 1-2 for sure. What instance he could have drawn that you don't just let the draw from Esper resolve? Spell Pierce? Well, I guess then I can pay because I didn't pay. Mm, I don't know. People play weird stuff, so I think better safe than sorry, because what instance of draw step will they die once the Archon resolved? Right? Or if they play path, we can dig them deeper towards that path. Cancer, do you think banning Glurus has brought us closer to world peace? I don't think so, no. Decks also take forever to complete leagues with. Yeah, that's minor, but annoying, I guess. Solid hand. Not sure if I should play it turn one or not, but like I want to spend my mana. Taking the iteration here, very nice. Damn, Merctite's actually so weak. They have two removals up, so we can't grieve them. I get Watery Grave, so if we draw Fotsis. Jedziesz na paprykarz teraz? No za tydzień chyba pojadę. Muszę jeszcze sobie poczytać o tym, jaki to jest turniej, ale tak, planuję pojechać. So on 5 they leak with Fury and Living End deck with Fury and Soul instead of Cyclers. I've seen that. That's like, that's a statement rather than a deck, but I think it's a pretty funny one. Land would be great, awesome. Yeah, this feels like vintage. Well, vintage, but this feels strong. Alright, can't quite do that, but you don't have Delirium, they kind of don't have nothing. I guess you can crack for Spell Pierce, that would work. I'd hope that they don't. Alright, they didn't. And even if they discard this now, if they end of turn hit my Archon, you can protect. Please do. Oh yeah, bro. It's rather strong. Huge blowouts. Let's keep on rolling with this leyline plan. Oh, huge blowout. This card spells make it much easier to play Ephemerate too, because you know your opponent's hand so much more often. So you can actually, you know, when you can, when you're free to do so, and like you can make it so that you're free to use it for value. Oh, this is really bad against Ragavan. Keep. Opponent, Ragavan's canister. No, no Ragavan, bro. No Great. No Ragavanero. Probably shouldn't cut any greaves in the matchup. That doesn't seem wise. Watch them excel my graveyards. Well, here comes Ragavan too. Only dash though, so not that big of a deal. Exactly, Leyla and Grief combination, and just like Grief making sure that you can resolve your stuff. Seems rather useful. I think they're gonna have Spell Pierce chat. Or will they play Soulgate? Or just say Ragavan? Come on, tap your mana. Also, I would love to draw a Grief here. What was that? The fake out. Ooh, no Pierce? Wow. Bro, this is so nice. Thank you. What? Just didn't have anything. Lamao. They shocked confidently to bluff the Pierce, yeah. Well, they could have drawn the Pierce. Also, like they tapped. Do you think this was an intentional fake out on their part? This tapping the Steam vents, or did they actually misclick? Were they trying to be like, oh yeah, shit, oh yeah, I have the spell piece. I just like didn't realize you were fetching and not actually casting the thing yet. How do you beat Graveyard Hay like Leyline? Well, just bounce it with the Fairy. 8-0. How do you beat Graveyard Hay with this deck? The answer is simple. Bounce Leyline. Cast this. Cast this. Cast this. Cast this. Or cast this. There are many ways to deal with Leyline. Make a prediction for the trophy. Put all your points under. And remember that Twitch Prime lets you subscribe to your favorite streamers for free. Maybe they had Dispute. Maybe. Dispute doesn't seem great against my deck. There's few blue spells. I guess they would discard my enabler and I smartly use the cleanup. What do I think of this idea? Let me see. Timur Control, Arboreal Grazer, yet you call yourself a control deck? Escape Shift. I don't think Grazer is great. Well, I guess Grazer N is a combo. It doesn't impress me, but it doesn't seem like the worst deck ever. But Counter Spell, Free Stomping Ground, 2 Valakut. I wish you good luck. I think you're gonna need it to cast those. I hope you'll win X close parentheses. Thanks. Poncer. What is Poncer gonna be on? I don't know, but I'll keep. This list seems pretty smooth and allows you to set up strong turns. Yeah. It's pretty nice when you can you know, like stockpile some cards in hand and have discard spells in hand for you know, Fotzi's Grief, clear the way, get the Archon, and then even if the Archon dies, it's just fine. Everyone with the modern Mox avatar is UURR. Yeah, couldn't be Orion, right? Like, I guess we see that my opponent's on 60 cards, but like, couldn't plausibly be Orion. I think Poncer typically plays Murktide, yeah. I'm gonna lead on this. We draw Grief. I want to have a black card in hand. And we're gonna play this on turn 2, probably. Unless we draw a draw 2 spell. And then we get punished by not playing the Fairland for the Fairy. But I think it's unlikely to get punished, and most likely I will not get punished. I need money to buy a modern deck, and my only tier 1 is on Popper. I would play Popper Leagues. What you recommend? I don't know anything about Popper. Swag. Those who fail to escape Malakir become part of the city's defense. Getting into Malakir isn't difficult. It's getting out that's the hard part. Damn. Caster keeps talking about new trends being cool for folklore, Ragavan plus Counterspell and stops playing folklore Yorion. I keep talking about that because it's true. Which one do we bounce? Oh, DRC. I don't know. We need to draw, well, both a discard outlet and a reanimation. You can soul next turn, force into the ferry. Burst, burst, burst. Swag. Have the discard outlet in hand? Not anymore. Another blue. Guess a lot Fantina. Swag, swag, swag. Let's draw. Solitude, solitude, good draw. Kinda, I don't have the 5th mana on the next turn. But you know, my opponent does need to make an action to kill Teferi. That's good in that way. We have 3 different costs in the graveyard. Dashin Monkey. Dashin Monkey is some long game plays. That's fine. He has the heat anyways, probably has a land, yeah. I don't know, this seems better than me than just playing 2 creatures and heating, but maybe. Did we see a dragon in his hand? Actually, I don't know. Swig, swig, swig. Bro, now we have to keep track of card types, mana values in graveyard. What's next? Artist names, years of print. Yeah, funny, but also true. We do live in a society. Got a Charm Keeper. Good draw. Two more lands so we can hardcast Archon. Hardcasting Archon is sort of a discard outlet. It's a version of a discard outlet. Strong move. Now we don't know his hand. He has so many cards. Probably would rather cycle because I don't think playing Lens to cast the Archon is a winning move. Very weak against counterspell. And I can paralyze him a little bit. He has so many cards. I need to kinda maneuver him into a spot rather than just play 8 mana bricks. Need to cycle. Drag on. Hmm. Let's just scry. But wait. Let's just do it now. Actually, it's proper to excel the DRC first. In this spot. Unfortunately, the iteration is going to be probably great. Wondering if it's just better to play Solitude to remove and cast 1 again next turn. I don't think so. Like, it's pretty tough, but I need to top deck Indulgences or Persists. Maybe more Solitudes and more Griefers are okay too. Another Mortide Regent. Regent Exile, that's kinda okay. Ephemerate is coming back, so he has to kill my Solitude too. Well, okay. Okay, so we just need a Persist, chat. Let's go. Persist or Teferi. Or Solitude. Persist, Teferi, Solitude. Persist. Persist. Not persist. Oi, oi, oi. Skip 4 Griefers. I think the Ephemerate is super hard to use. Let's cut the Ephemerates. Czego tak miałeś bułko? Jesteś nakarmiona? What are the collective brutalities for? They're the best card against burn. Trophy race is on. Yeah, racing towards the first trophy, I guess. How has this list been running? It's been pretty pogcham. We 4-0, but we down after we lost game 1. It's Murktide now. There's still some inconsistency for sure in this. Discard Dragavan, can't lose. At least, unless Brazil Borrower. Engineered? Why would I want Engineered Explosives? An extremely inefficient card. Against my opponent's extremely efficient deck. Godless Shrine. Snapcaster, Magus of the Moon, what the hell? What do I think of Muldrifter? Doesn't give the decks other game plans. Well, maybe it does give opponent the deck different game plans. Game plans. Kinda weird. I guess you can lose this game to the Magus. This hand though. I'll take the Magus because we would lose to it. I do write articles for Haruya regularly, somewhat regularly. After I was getting Lowski, no problemowski. Without Ephemerate are not better 2 Turak and 2 Plasterstorm over 4 Grief. I think if I resolve Archon, my chances of winning are pretty high. But it is a little bit. It's a good question. I don't think Clusterstorm is that strong. And I think Turak is kinda horrid against them. But are they still with fuel? Unfortunately, or rather fortunately, no. Also agree with ley lines and synergy because you discard extra ley lines. So you know the Snapcaster. Play the Weep Art first as bait, yeah. Yeah, we also know what the water is true. Blood Moon. Nie jedz ze śmieci. Kurwa gnolu. Blood Moon problem. Sort of. I think the first two characters you play against are kinda medium draws. Not very strong draws. Although this Blood Mooner here is pretty cringe, but kinda makes sense. We need to fetch planes super aggro immediately. I'm gonna fetch planes, I need to fetch good mana. I guess maybe that could have been an island and like fetch planes alongside the way. And now we're on no outs, I guess. Well, planes is an out. Literally planes in the deck and more indulgences. I don't think we can cast anything else. Can draw ley lines or griefers. It's a Trial Soleil Swamp. It says so. I don't know why. Yeah. See, I don't that tells you result bugged. It's always doesn't work at the beginning of the new set. Only begins to work later. It just says that it's a swamp, it's not actually a swamp. There's no reason why it should be a swamp, so it's just a weird display bug. Leyline versus Blood Moon. Fortunately, Blood Moon wins. Can discard Darkon in the cleanup and then actually get there. My opponent doesn't play any more creatures or any more bolts or any more anything. It seems like he sideboarded first for the leyline and then it sucks. I mean, he bought it in Snapcaster Mage. I don't know if that's sideboarding versus leyline, but I'm actually alive. One more land, he plays the Murktide though. No land, but probably means that he draws a spell. Oh, guess we want to take the Murktide. How many basics do I run? I run one of each. Unfortunately, I think he has more life draws than I do. For example, this. Well, I have one plains relic. Sure. I will exile a card. I also might have cards like Lightning Bolt left in deck. Last real deck. Yeah. We tried to cheese, we got cheesed. Stand Indulgence, a banger or unimpressed. Well, it's pretty strong in this deck. Alright, Leyline sucked this game. Kinda. But my opponent was left with a hand that was super powerful still after I leylined. They had the Mooners. Even if I fetch my 3 basics, Moon is going to be an issue. I think Leyline is good, but the rest of her hand isn't functional. Yeah, I didn't draw the best. But even, I don't know. I guess we were like throwing an Archon away earlier in the game. From there. From getting there. I think I want Jace as my grindy card, but I want a fairy. Because you can cast it through Moon. Which I guess is not relevant for this matchup, but maybe for some others. Not really. I guess Jace is fine. What I add to the deck? A Jace, I moved him, okay. How many fetches we've got? We've got 3 Marsh Floods, 3 Delta, 2 Flooded Strand. Nice playing against you, Kaneki. Thank you very much for the match. Chai Serena fix. This is a perpetual question. Is Serra's Emissary bad for the side? I think the better question is, does Serra's Emissary offer anything useful in the sideboard? And I think the answer is, I don't think so. In what way is Arena broken? You didn't sideboard out Murktide, but in retrospective you should have sideboarded 1 or 2 of them. Yeah, maybe. I have Leyline Teferi Solitude. I don't know if you knew about Leyline or not. You can't play. That's a lame bug. Can you play in direct challenge? Spell charm kills Blood Moon. Yeah, but you can cast it through Blood Moon. I don't know, bro. Blood Moon is just a card that I'm not a fan of. Let's go Grixis version. That's gonna happen tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be trying a Grixis Reanimator deck. Just gonna be with Monkey. One Croxa here. Seasoned Pyros, Fury Griefers. And well, Ragavans to pressure my opponents, especially if they do stuff with Graveyard Hate. I don't know if it's equally as good as that, like Seasoned Pyro has its upsides. Is it Charm never gets the respect? Well, because it's not very good, I think. It's effectively red-black splashing there for the Tainted Indulgence. Not even playing the island here. Ragavan for fixing should be definitely better against Moon. For Malaki Rebirth, because I want to still have that pairing with Grief. Imagine that you have to choose one Triumph to never play it. Which one would it be? Abzan or Naya? What did you think about Flusterstorm? I didn't play against Cascade decks, but it's a card I almost only sideboard against Cascade decks. Ob Mardu. Ob Mardu what? You want Ob Nixos in this deck? It's not even good in this deck. I don't think it's good in Modern, but we can probably try it at some point. The one concern I have about Ob Nixos though is this. They don't even sell it yet. They just buy it for 63 seconds. I'm selling it for 90 or something. Oh, Mardu Triumph to never play. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Nardu Maya Abzan. Kinda useless Triumphs. Maybe Abzan has its uses. So. There's some Mardu Reanimator Pyres. There are, yeah. But they don't have the new card Tainted Indulgence. They're playing some weird cards. I'm not sure about them. Can I challenge you to a match against this deck? No, you can't, because I'm finishing the stream. Thank you everyone who came from Spike's stream and who was there to begin with, even more so. Thank you for watching me play that league. Have I tried out the Goryo's deck over Persist deck? I have not played with the Goryo's Vengeance Griselbrand deck. And I'll be back tomorrow in the morning to stream with this. After we get Xander's launch, we need to secure one. And that's it. There's going to be no streams on the weekend, but tomorrow still on. Take care and stay hydrated, bros.